Greetings. This is the DJ Cool Clyde show. We got a great guest lined up for you. We'll be back in 30 seconds. Hey, thank you for joining me on my broadcast. Without any further delay, I want to bring on my guests. To my right, we got the mixologist Tyrone and his brother, Kool DJ, founding fathers of hip hop. I'm gonna start off with you, mixologist Tyrone. Give the viewers a little synopsis of who you are and what you have laid down in this game we call hip hop.
Okay, my name is DJ Tyrone, the mixologist, the original mixologist. And I'm one of the beginning people who created scratch on wax and one of the first scratches out there. And also played in many areas of the world and throughout the Bronx and Queens, Manhattan, the US, and still doing it at this point. And from here on, I will be the DJ until the day I leave this earth, and I will be a part of hip hop as a history. That's who I am.
Mixologist Tyrone. Next.
Hi, I'm Cool DJ. I loved music ever since I was a young kid, watching my mothers do parties and listening to her, and then watching the adults drink and smooth play poker and all that stuff. And my mother always gave parties. Um, um, we moved from North Carolina and we came here, and we lived in Harlem 100, what's that, 27th Street, I think it was?
127.
Yeah,
St. Nick.
127 one side. When we first got here from North Carolina, and then we went to Brooklyn, and we stayed in Brooklyn for a while. Went to school out there. Then we came to the Bronx when I was in the eighth grade, yeah, ninth grade, I think it was. And we went to, where I enrolled in 123. Yeah, so then, I met the some of the Black Spades, Mario and everybody, and I became Black Spade. Again, I fought Fat Mike to get into the Black Spades, even though he don't remember. Okay.
Oh, wow.
Okay, and I was playing music then, but I didn't have no system. I was playing music for Fantasia in Brooklyn. It was the three of us at the time. It was Chips, DJ Chips, and Larry B, who's deceased, and me. And it was doing some parties in Brooklyn. And I played one time in Jimmy's against Plummer, another Brooklyn DJ who blew me away when we was Fantasia. And from that, I saw his equipment. And that's when I decided to start saving up for my own stuff and got my own stuff, started doing my own thing. And then that's when I came out in the Bronx. We met Mario, and me and Mario started playing in the park, and that's everything just took off from there.
Now, what year was this when you met Disco King? We talk about another legend in hip hop, Disco King Mario. He's no longer here with us, but what year was this when you met Mario and you came to the Bronx?
It was 1973.
1973.
Yeah.
Now, you guys are legends in hip hop. Why aren't your names being shown or notated in the books of records that you guys are founding fathers in hip hop? Is there any reason why?
Well, there's been a lot of reasons. Some people say. Um, it's a Caribbean thing, and I'm Afro American, black, and most of the people that's supposed to be founding fathers are Caribbean, like Bambaataa, Herc, and Flash. And they didn't. At the time, they got. I don't know the story. I don't know if it's true or not, but this is what some people say. Okay. Me and Mario, we African American in Tyrone, so that could be one reason, and another reason is a lot of people didn't travel in the Bronx, like people on the west side never ventured over to the east side.
Now, why you think they didn't come over to the east side? What was their reason? We want to hear. When people watch and tune in my show, they know I'm going to ask these hardcore questions.
Right.
So we want to know.
Well, you know, on our side, you couldn't step over there unless you knew somebody there.
Okay.
Like it's almost you had to be chaperone. Like, oh, you know James? All right, you good. You're right.
Okay.
You didn't know nobody. You can get robbed or hurt or whatever.
But the spades was deep.
You know, we didn't.
You wasn't just rolling on this side and getting in and out of here easy. You know what I'm saying? And you know the spades were so deep. They were like, if you considered them like a basketball team at that point, you would say the bench was deep. I mean, if you didn't run to one crazy knucklehead, you're gonna get another one. You know what I'm saying? One behind the other. And I mean, when it came in blocks, and then come in like, you know, a handful of people. You know, when the spades rolled, they rolled in blocks. They didn't roll in, you know. You expect an army of people. You know, it's just that's just how it was over here.
What project did the Black Spade start from?
Bronxville.
Oh, okay. Well, you know they call it Sotomayor today.
Yeah, well, it's still Bronx still.
Still Bronxville to everybody.
Okay.
That's the way it was.
Okay.
And then no matter wherever the spades went, they went in deep. They went in deep. You know.
But how is it that our side, Soundview section of the Bronx, gets less recognition than the west side of the Bronx when you have more projects and residential area on our side of the Bronx? Black Spade started where you couldn't come on this side of the Bronx without knowing somebody, as you guys said. How is it that one side of the Bronx is getting much more recognition than the other? Not that I'm trying to put, west side against the east side of the Bronx, but I just want to be able to explain the story so they know the truth of what happened.
Well, we had bigger issues than what they had over there.
Okay.
For instance, there's an Italian section that didn't allow us in at all. I mean, you got caught walking through the Italian section, you was jumped and you were really brutalized, you know, at that point. So the Spades got, you know, they were pretty tired of a lot of that. So that's why I'm saying they used to roll real deep.
Is that the reason why the Black Spades was formed, to protect themselves?
Exactly.
Okay.
For the most part. Protection of our own. And at that point, it escalated into other areas too. Spades became spades in other areas that, you know, I didn't expect, you know, Forest Projects and all the other areas to have it, but all of a sudden, the divisions were popping up everywhere.
So it all originated from Bronxville, and
Absolutely.
and it went throughout the
Absolutely.
Bronx. I see. Now, what places did you guys play in the Bronx?
Before we
Was
go
y'all
there,
playing in the parks first? Was y'all playing in community centers? Was y'all playing in clubs? What were y'all doing?
when we first came out, we was doing block parties and playing in the park, and we started playing in the little bars and after-hour spots, like on 180th Street, Mapes and stuff like that. And we was all over the Bronx.
That reminds me like the motorcycle club, the Black Falcons.
Black
Oh, you
Falcons,
remember them, right?
yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
We
okay,
played
okay.
right down the
Yeah.
block from the Black
They knew
Falcons.
us, yeah.
Okay.
They knew us
I
too.
remember
I
Jerry
think we did a
Bradley,
party for
Jerry
them,
Bradley
yeah.
from the Black Falcons.
Yeah.
He kind of, we lived in the same building. I was like a little son to him. Yeah.
Yeah.
They were cool people, man.
Yeah.
They were real cool. We did a few parties around the area,
Yeah. So
you know.
Did y'all ever play in the PAL?
Yes.
So talk about, what was that experience like playing in there?
It's just like any other place, like just playing in Bronx River. When we play in Bronx River, the same thing, you know. I'm gonna tell you, we were spades. We didn't run into too many problems in playing anywhere we wanted to play. So if we choose to play in the Executive Playhouse on Jerome Avenue, we play there too. It didn't matter. It's not like we was worried about getting jumped by anybody or anything like that, because at that particular time, space was so widely spread to the point weren't afraid of anywhere.
Where did the Peacemakers come in from? Or were they the Black Spades? Because you have the Peacemakers, the Black Spades, you had the Zulu Nation, you had the Gestapo crew. I mean, you had so many people, the Nine, the Casanovas. How did this all intertwine with each other?
It's very difficult to explain something of that magnitude, because as the spade began to, I wouldn't say, let me see, not disperse, but more or less calm down to the level where everybody was like at its normalcy into getting jobs and
No, that's cool.
formulating
right, we can relate to
families
that,
and
right.
things of that magnitude. But as you live on, as you aged, you're never not a spade. If you joined the organization, you was always a spade, no matter what. If you saw one of your brothers walking in Pathmark or any mall or something, wow, there go Clyde. What's up, Clyde? Boom, 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 boom. Hit him up. This, that, and the other. That's what I'm saying. As you matured, that's when things start to change over, and they try to merge people together.
I think that the Black Spades like really monopolize that. Then, yeah, we'll go over there and say like, listen, you either gonna be a spade or you're gonna get hurt, and all right, then everybody switch over to the spades.
Interesting.
But everybody didn't switch over. You had certain gangs. You still had the Savage Skulls, and you had the Savage Nomads.
The
You had
Immortals.
Seven Crowns. You had Ghetto Brothers. It was a whole lot of people that was big enough, and that they had their own entity. Okay, so we couldn't go, and if we did go, we had to be very careful.
Now, I remember one thing that you and Mario guys had in common. Y'all had clear sound systems.
Yeah.
I mean, I ain't taking nothing away from my boy Kenny Ken.
Right. Okay.
But you guys had clean sound systems. Let's talk about that, because that's important. When you are playing and people could hear the crispy tweeters and the bass coming through, and it's clean when you're playing a record. And I remember when Mario used to play in Rosedale Park, you would hear his sound system from Rosedale Park, Bronxdale side, all the way to the other side, almost by Bronx River. That's how this sound would travel. Talk about that.
Well, that comes from your electronics. If you're buying cheap electronics, then that's what you're going to get. If you buy expensive stuff, you're going to get the
But how was
quality
you
sound.
ahead of your time at that time? I mean, you're talking about young teenagers looking to get good equipment so you could have clear sound. I mean, did we take our mom's VI stuff and break their stuff up? But how was you able to know, listen, we got to have quality stuff out here when we're going to play? That's what I want to know.
Well, I broke my mother's thing down to, because I didn't have no turntables. And then my mother had a component that used to break that down. You know what I mean?
Yes.
But you had to find out where you shopped at as well. The quality of equipment that you purchase is where you shop it and get it. And the people that you get in front have to know what you're looking for. And it's just like customizing the suit. You ain't gonna have a lapel that's too big. They ain't making enough noise. That's why we made sure that we knew where to go to get what we needed to make the sound that we wanted.
Why do you think hip hop was started, and where did it come from? What did hip hop come from? What caused this form to create the thing we call hip hop, even before it even had its name, hip hop? What form was it? Because they had clubs, and the only way you can get in there if you had suit and ties. Was it violence that was going on in the community, and people said, listen, we got to start our own thing? From the Black Space said, listen, man, we're going to create music, we're going to do our own thing, and it became hip hop, or what is known today. Or was it a combination of all these things?
There's a combination of all those things. And disco, they was playing music like from Twins like night and day. And Fred Astaire and Jenna Roger was dancing. People got tired of that. They didn't want to do that, They wanted to do their own thing, They wanted dress their own way. They wanted to do their own things. They didn't want to.
I think Grandmaster Flash got his name from DJ Flowers.
Flowers, yes.
Now,
Yes. Grandmaster Flowers. That I used to watch that guy in awe, the way he blend his music and the way his music sound. I think he played this system in mono, so you hear a lot, all bass and everything was coming from the same speaker. Everything was coming out.
oh, so you can appreciate that coming from mono. You talking about one side. I would think Cool D with one stereo where you can hear everything like from both speakers. You talking about mono? It's like
I think he did that to be more, the music come out more forceful, and with more bass. You know, so.
Because he was one of the DJs that carried a heavier amount of bass with him, you know, and a lot of DJs couldn't compete with him.
I picked up from him. I picked up from. I picked up from Flowers. I picked up from PTJ Johnson.
Now, what places did you play? Was it the Hebelo? Was it Bentley? I mean, just name a few of these places that play. Now, some of course, our younger viewers may not know what the Hebelo is, or the PAL, or Bronx River, or the Stardust Ballroom, you know, or Savoy, you know, or the Celebrity Club. You know, name some
Well,
places.
I played all those places in Black Watch Room, Small's Paradise,
Madden Center.
How about the Devil's Nest?
Did the Devil's Nest.
Now, what came first, the Devil's Nest or the Fever?
The Fever.
The Fever was before the Devil's Nest.
Yeah.
Okay, that was what over there, 167 in Jerome South Albertello.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And there's a few clubs that that we didn't mention, like a lot of the hotels, like the Downbeat, the Underground, Diplomat, Downbeat. There was places like, what was that place that
Mel Gwen Superstar.
Mel Gwen's Superstar.
Oh,
okay.
Downstairs Records.
Hold on, before we go there, there's a lot of secret spots that we weren't supposed to mention, but I'll allow them to be mentioned.
Courtesy of the Cool Clyde show.
Because of the simple fact, I was one of the guys who did the footwork to get into all the underground spots to get records and stuff of that nature. And my brother knows a bunch of them too, he had to mention to certain DJs that I'll let him mention, that he told about the music, and some people will be amazed. Because these people that he would mention wouldn't say that he gave them the information.
Interesting. You know, I look at you guys as our Martin Luther King, Marcus Garvey, Booker T. Washington, you know, Malcolm X of hip hop. You know, people don't realize how important this is. I'm documenting this thing. So when we're no longer here, people will know where this came from. If we don't document this stuff now, it won't be heard. And so the good thing about it is we're documenting this. This is in HD. This is not like when you look back from Martin Luther King's era, it's snowy, it's grainy. This is going to be actually clear, HD, top of the line stuff. So this is why this is important to convey this message. Now, the record stores that you bought records from, name a few. Was it Disco Man? Was it Conley Records? I mean, come on. I ain't going to let you get by without mentioning that.
Go ahead, D. I'll let you give the first.
Well, Colony's Records on 52nd Street and Broadway was one of the record places I went to. And the Downstairs Records on 42nd Street, downstairs in the subway.
Oh, okay. I was getting ready to say that because you have more than one downstairs. It's the same owners, but they have moved. The main one that I went to was in the subway with the
subway, right.
The shuttle's at.
Yeah, because you didn't have to, like, sometimes it was a guy down there, I forgot his name. I didn't.
Elroy.
Yeah.
It was one of the main ones down there. Oh my God, it's gonna come back to me in a minute. Willie was down there. I mean, it's so many people. AJ, what was it? Kool-Aid. This guy named Kool-Aid used to buy a lot of records from down there. I used to see him down there back in the days.
Yeah, you meet a lot of DJs down there from all over the place. And you know, the thing at that time, nobody wanted to know tell you the name of a record if it's hot. You understand? Yeah. You know, they cover it up and stuff like that. And you know, what I was saying about the Downstairs Record is, oh sorry, I moved. The Downstairs Record is that you can go down there, don't even know the name of the record, and say, yo man, it's a record, and it goes da 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 da, and the guy goes, oh, okay, it sounds like this, and he pulls it out, and that's how good those guys was back then, you know. So yeah, it's the records that we was going, you don't have to know the name sometimes.
That's interesting though, man. Now, I remember you, Ty. You used to have the afro on, and you would have a headphone, like a little cup on one
A
side,
cup, yeah.
and you'd be scratching, and then Cool D would have the coffin. You must have been the originator of the coffin. Am I correct or am I mistaken?
Yeah, I'm the first one with the coffin in the Bronx. Yes.
Now let the viewers know, the younger viewers who don't know what a coffin. I don't want them thinking somebody passed away in it. But what was that? What was a coffin?
It was a wooden box that housed the 2 speakers and the mixer, and
2
Two
turntables.
turntables.
2 turntables and the mixer. I'm sorry, and the preamp. And
Okay.
Preamp, and sometimes you added whatever you needed on board. Echo chamber, signal processors, and things of that nature. See, we were more into electronics and stuff of that magnitude to qualify and grade the signal, what we were putting out on through our speakers.
Well, I'm gonna test your history. This is an easy question. I'm giving you an ABC question. How did you carry your records?
Crates.
Oh, okay,
Crates.
I figured if you didn't know that,
That's why, but I laugh at the DJs today.
why?
That say that I'm vinyl purist, right? I just want to play vinyl. You go ahead, buddy. I done did that shit for years. I'm glad the computer here. I don't have to carry the records. Because those records, man, we used to carry out like 20 crates of records when
Yes,
we went out.
yes.
Better.
Yeah.
So let's just say that they invented computers when we came out. You would not have rather to carry crates of records than to have a computer?
Let me explain something.
Yes.
To play out of crates is, to my opinion, I'm so used to both at this point.
Okay.
But playing out of crates was my thing.
Okay.
I enjoyed it.
Okay. Now this is where I'm trying to
It's
go.
just the feel of the vinyl going up on the platter itself and extending the needle upon it and creating the majesty that we've done over the period of years. But the fact that scratching on vinyl versus scratching in a digital world is slightly different.
Yeah. Okay.
There's a difference. There is the difference. And you got people who just love vinyl. I love vinyl too. If there was a choice to play vinyl versus playing the consistency of digital in the home, I would play the vinyl.
You keep the vinyl. I wanna.
He's more of a digital
I
person.
did that for years, carrying those crates. And what I do give the crates is, with the computer, you have to know the name of a song, what you're looking for. Well, go down the list. But with the crates, you just have to know the album cover, what it looked like, and you can just, line it up.
But now you've been playing for years, and I always love the way you guys play. But let's be honest. When you are doing stuff digital with the Serato,
Right.
you can link all the records up that have the same tempo. Back in the days, you would have to have the experience
Exactly.
in your mind to know how to do that.
Exactly.
All right, well, go ahead, Tyrone, expound on
Yeah,
that.
it's about ear.
Exactly. People just don't realize the difficulty of doing that with vinyl versus in a digital world.
Right, because it seems like like when I see DJs mixing on turntables, I'm not taking nothing away from them, but they're pushing buttons and doing all these different kind of sound effects. But it's not really like they really scratching. Like we used to put the nickel or the quarter on top of the arm, and if it jumped, you had to do the best you can to
control it.
beat. Today they designed turntables and perfected it to a point where the arm doesn't jump. And I'm not saying we can't move forward with technology, but it seemed like they put a pacifier on the new DJs that are coming up now.
They made it easier for the DJs to play music. They made it you can automatically put your cue on the record. You can do everything. When you just playing the vinyl, you gotta find that groove, that your part.
Is it something about records that sound like it have static versus something that's digitally? Because when you
Let me just explain one thing.
yes.
There's a difference between digital and analog.
Oh well, do say.
Okay. Analog is a longer thing that's not dotted. It's just a straight line. Where you have digital, which is a sound that's dotted. So in the dot versus a long extended line, you're
Sounds
losing
clearer.
something. And that's where analog on the record, vinyl, is. And a lot of people, DJs, that don't realize that the people that are using these particular things of controllers, which I'm using now, I don't believe that that's a real DJ. You want to be a DJ? Take some vinyl and each individual record and move in and put it together and make it happen.
Now, oftentimes, and let's kind of bring some of the young people involved with this. Oftentimes, when we talk about this new generation, we may say to them that they don't know what it is to be a DJ because everything is dealing with computers. I've seen people, Dr. Bob Lee showed me an app on a cell phone that you could DJ
Yeah, you
from
can.
your cell phone.
Absolutely.
He got 2 turntables and a mixer. He
Absolutely.
could be partying on the floor
Absolutely.
and he's changing the records.
Absolutely.
How do you equate that with
That's not
beginning
DJing to
time?
me.
And even radio air personalities
I agree.
in studios.
I agree.
I mean, I've been on Wendy Williams' show when she was on the radio, and they call her a DJ.
I agree with you. I put it as another level of engineering. That's the way I look at it. Because, I mean, they got it so now that it's so easy to read a book to the point where it's not even fun to read a book anymore because you can put on headphones and hit your phone and boom, you're sitting there listening to somebody else read to you.
Well,
Or if you're not doing the job physically yourself, you're not a DJ.
well, what I
To
could
my
say,
opinion, that's just my opinion.
Okay.
what I could say with no respect for the DJs that do use the controllers, because I'm now using the controller also. I got turntables also. I switch back and forth. Small jobs, I use the controller. Big jobs, I use the turntables. But what I am saying is when you see DJs and they want to spin back and they want to do all this on the controller, I laugh at you because you're not a DJ. If you're not doing it on turntables, that's not skill. You know what I'm saying? It takes skill to spin that back on a turntable. And then don't let the needle move because you have to be light-handed. And you see, with a controller, you can be all heavy-handed and stuff like that. It's not no skill, but you know, a lot of them DJs do that. You know, they stretch with the with the controller and everything. But I'm not taking anything from you guys. It sounds good, but that's not the real skill factor. Okay, the real skill factor is getting in there, finding your cue without being queued up on turntables, and doing it fast, and then spinning back without that needle moving.
When I hear of Kool Herc, Africa Bambaataa, and Grandmaster Flash as being the founding fathers of hip hop, my ears keep ringing and saying, where's Cool DJ D, the mixologist Tyrone, and Disco King Mario in that equation? And perhaps maybe even DJ Breakout.
Yeah.
That people don't talk about. Why aren't those names being mentioned in that equation?
Well, a lot of people.
I believe if you formulate a group and amongst the people that you want to be around, you congregate yourself around people that want to be congregated in your clique. You understand what I'm saying? Now, from my argument concerning that situation is that if it wasn't for us, Bambaataa wouldn't be here. Herc was out. Flash was doing his thing on his side. We were doing our things on ours.